Yesterday, that guy Derrick from Jake Paul's media company tried to troll Nate Diaz again. Footage is going around TikTok of him after the press conference, and he seems to deeply regret his decisions.
Derrick, not you again. Better keep it professional, my man.
Hey, bring this little up here. Get him the out of here. Spread the out. Bring him up here.
He's coming.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Derrick, what have you done?
Bro, I f***ed up so bad, dude. I think I'm having a panic attack, or I'm about to have one.
Cory Sandhagen recently fired back at Sean O'Malley, saying that it's a poor decision for him to fight Umar Nurmagomedov. The fight was since called off because Umar got injured, and Cory is now fighting Rob Font.
Doesn't make sense in my eyes. I think we're just look at business differently, and I think it's a very poor decision. Go out there and win. It's not. Umar's good. Beating Umar's big, but he's Cheeto. He just worked Cheeto, and Cheeto was about to fight Henry, who just fought for the title. So I just think it's a poor decision on his management part. But everyone's do their own thing.
Cory fired back at O'Malley, saying there are things about Sean O'Malley that I think are just super lame. Talking about things like, you fight the worst guy for the most amount of money. Everything being like business decisions. It's like I can't connect with that type of thinking at all. To me, those are ways of thinking that are just weak, and they're ways of thinking that are going to trend into ruining the sport a little bit, in my opinion. You should want to fight the best guy. If you're here to be the actual world champion, that's what we're doing. I don't see this as a business, really. I make good money now. I'm good. The greediness and the business decision things that happen in a lot of these ways of thinking are, to me, lame. I don't think that passing on the message that you should fight the worst guy for the most amount of money, that's such a weak way of thinking. Jorge Masvidal offered Brendan Schaub a fight against Derrick Lewis in Gamebred Promotions. Derrick's victory over Marcos Rogerio de Lima this past weekend at UFC 291 was the last fight on Derrick's contract. He is now a free agent. Jorge made an appearance on The Fighter and the Kid this week. He said, "I heard you're making your debut in my promotion. I heard Derrick Lewis is a free agent too." Brendan replied, "Oh, that's right, but you allow grappling and everything." Jorge said, "Yeah, it's MMA." Brendan said, "I wouldn't say no to Derrick Lewis if I can grapple." Masvidal replied, "Ooh, no way. Derrick Lewis debut in my promotion versus Brendan Schaub? Do you understand that people's heads are exploding?" Ahead of Cory Sandhagen versus Rob Font this weekend at UFC Nashville, Robert Whittaker has high praise for both fighters on the latest episode of the MM Arcade podcast. Rob does, however, believe Sandhagen has the slight edge and predicts him to get the win.
In his last fight against Vera, we saw him mixing up the stance switching. He was switching stances so fluently left and right, but he was also mixing in his wrestling seamlessly.
Yeah.
And making a much greater effort to control the position for longer, as well as push him up against the fence, slow the fight down, back up, use his range and his distance, mix up the strikes while his opponent is worrying about the takedowns, or he's recovering from the wrestling exchange. And he just gave Vera a lot of looks. And, that was it was very interesting to see him come out that much better than his previous fight.
For sure.
And I'm excited to watch him fight again. Well, that's the thing. Rob Font in his last fight looked outstanding.
Really good.
Outstanding. Because, mate, when I'm watching Yanez leading up to that fight, I was like, man, Yanez's boxing is next level. He's going to get in there, and he's, you know what I mean? But that's what we expected to see, that those slip hooks, those counters, to get in there and turn it into a nice, tight, neat boxing clinic. But Rob Font dismantled him. Yanez couldn't take the heat, and with the Font and distance control Font was showing, it was an absolute stellar performance from him. And it's just such an interesting fight. I'm going to go Sandhagen because not only did both guys across the board have skill increases since their fights before their previous fights, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, their previous fights before their last. Yeah. Both guys have increased in skill, but I believe Cory Sandhagen's fight IQ and his setups have taken a massive jump. In that last fight, the amount of looks he was giving Vera, the stance switching, with the control of the range, with the seamless takedowns and wrestling and grappling involved. It was a lot. And you could see it shut down Vera. His mind just went overload, shut down, and he was just in the fight.
The back and forth between Jamahal Hill and Ariel Helwani continues, so Jamahal responded to Ariel's response. Jamahal declined Ariel's offer to go on the MMA Hour.
I have no interest in coming on your show. I've been on your show. I've been on your show multiple times before leading up into it. Gave you a really great sports soundbite for your show. And I see the respect I got for that. So now, if you truly want to talk and have a conversation, you can come on my show. You come right here, Champ Chat Podcast, first ever guest. You know, you come on and we can talk. This is a text message from me and Ariel Helwani. This is him texting me, asking me what I mean about this Twitter link on Twitter where him and Joe Rogan got into it, and Joe Rogan said that he puts words in people's mouth. And he said he didn't do it. And my question on the tweet was, what was our interview? So he's asking me, what was that? And I say, what do you think? I asked you first. Not really. The post in itself was a question. Then he goes back and shares an old text message saying where I said, I enjoy our exchanges. All right, cool. Completely irrelevant. Then I go to, yeah, I watched our video back and I feel that you really did some whole ass shit. Are you being serious? How was what you did not? Right? So our last text conversation was not cordial and it was not nice. But he will try to say that to make it seem like he doesn't know where this is coming from. And it's coming from out of nowhere. And if you look on the data there, that's from February.
Ariel responded via Twitter. He wrote Jamahal with another response to the response to the response. Sheesh, so much drama. Good content for the budding channel though. Well played. Saw his latest one. More lies. More made up stuff. His manager knows, but all good, I'm bored. Offer on the table if you change your mind. Good luck with your recovery, champ. A fan replied to Ariel saying, what lie though? Ariel replied, here's one, lil bro. Me to his manager. He claims I never brought him. I reached out specifically to help him. And that's gonna wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post future ones. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's in reference to Jan Blachowicz claiming he was robbed at UFC 291. It's from Alejandro. Says it was a close fight, far from a robbery though, and I'm a fan of both men. The second one's from Justin. It's in reference to the beef between Ariel and Jamahal Hill. It says every time Ariel has an issue, somehow he got everything wrong, and the receipts say otherwise. And the final one's in reference to John McCarthy's take on Jan Blachowicz claiming he was robbed. It's from Alpha Q Hart. It says John McCarthy with another cracked out take. Yes, Jan lost this fight, but to use this fight in order to discredit his bout with Izzy and say he won because of grappling, despite the fact that he outstruck Izzy every round on the feed, is wild. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured on the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. If you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen to get caught up. And make sure to go subscribe to our second channel where we post our exclusive MMA interviews.